My father is a surgeon, but the file on his laptop says otherwise. Part 5. Submitted by TBP420. The events I'm about to tell you about occurred 2 days ago. I'm still shaking, but what's worse is the pride I feel. Let me explain. Last time I left off where I got the text. It was a detailed plan of what I'm going to do to stop my father. But before I could find him, I'd have to visit the chief, the one who betrayed me, and make him pay. I discovered that the chief had been reading my posts, and that's how he found me and stopped me. I wasn't worried about him reading the newer posts and finding out I'm alive, mainly because Tom pulled some strings with certain people and managed to make it oblivious to both my father and the chief that I'm still alive. Anyway, in the text I got, I was given the address of the chief. The plan was to go to his house and retrieve his phone without getting caught. However, if stealth wasn't an option, Tom gave me permission to use my pocket knife. Since getting caught and arrested was still a real possibility for me, Tom shouldn't even be communicating with me right now. We agreed he would just pretend not to see it, and if it was recorded, he'd delete it. The next morning a taxi came to pick me up and drive me to the chief's street. While I couldn't even hold a knife before, I was determined to get my revenge. The only other thing that crossed my mind was how in less than 4 days, it would be my birthday. I would finally turn 14. I never imagined this life. I had dreams. The only thing I have in my heart now is vengeance, and I'll be damned if I don't get it. I got out of the cab a little down the road from the chief's house. The entire walk there was just me imagining what I'd do. I'm beginning to feel like my father, but I don't enjoy it. Tom gave me the heads up, saying he is still asleep. Perfect. I walked towards the front door and saw a nearby drone scanning the area. Tom told me there was an open window on the side of the house. I slowly approached it, my rage growing with every step. I jumped through the window, landing with a loud thud. Tom was unaware, but from the start, my plan was to slit the chief's throat. I examined the house, finally arriving in front of the room where the chief was asleep. I pulled out my knife, which I'd brought to remove the bullets of betrayal he fired at me. With an expressionless face, I slammed the door open and ran towards him. By the time he realized what was happening, it was too late. I jammed the knife deep inside, removing it and stabbing him, over and over again. I felt true joy. Then again in his chest. Looking at his eyes with enjoyment, blood poured from him, he could no longer even say a word. I started jamming it into his leg just so he could feel more pain. His expression faded. His pulse stopped. Sweet revenge. Tom called. With a sigh, he told me to get the chief's phone, set the house on fire and leave. I grabbed a tank of gasoline from the garage and doused the entire bungalow. Then, with a singular match, it was all lit ablaze. I grabbed the phone and left, smiling as I closed the door behind me. A different taxi waited for me outside, on the next street. For the entire ride home, my mind was blank. With nothing, no thoughts, I was simply enjoying every second of my existence. Once back at the hotel, I just dropped to the bed and fell asleep. My phone's ringtone woke me up. I'd missed a lot of texts from Tom, but that didn't matter. I picked up, and what followed was a long talk between the two of us. He obviously wasn't too happy with me, even threatening to report me. After that, I linked him to the chat, and he told me he would investigate and call me back later. I'm using this time to tell you all the new information I found on the phone. First of all, the question that puzzled me for so long, I had found out what my dad was exactly. He would take innocent people, harvest them for everything they had and sell it back through unknown means, my guess being the dark web, though that's just an assumption. I also learned the reason behind the chief's betrayal. A little over 8 years ago, my father had given the chief's son a heart for a transplant the kid desperately needed. For that, the chief was in debt to my father. A few days ago, my father told the chief to track me down and kill me. The symbols on the car were all a lie. This is off track, but I should mention to anyone wondering that even though I have no actual evidence of my father doing such things, other than these messages, I no longer need it. After all, I plan to kill my father. I haven't seen or heard from my brother in ages. I hope he is alive. I miss him so much. As well as betraying me, my father gave orders to the chief to destroy all evidence of his actions. I'll try to answer what questions you have with this new information. After all of this, I did nothing for the next 2 days, just waiting for a call from Tom. One thing that stuck with me was how much joy I felt in killing someone. Revenge or not, it disgusted me, and I couldn't sleep the next night. I'll leave things off saying that around 5 minutes ago, I got a message from Tom. Just 6 words, "I know where your father is."